All right, I wanted to make this video real quick. For like 10, 15 years, I have been knocking and knocking and knocking and researching and educating myself on what truth is. Uh, whether that's history, science, education, by trying my best to use my discernment. Um, and there's a couple things, in different, whether it be science, history, government, whatever, that I've learned. So I wanted to do something within government here that I learned very early on. That is a very, 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 very big red flag. It should scare everyone that watches this. These concepts that I'm going to, kind of speak about are very simple. Um, I want to start off with the concept of loaning, uh, which is uh, debt, and how it's a curse. And I want to explain how the Federal Reserve works, what the Federal Reserve is, and how it's an illusion. Let's start off like this. Okay. Um, we have our executive branch, judicial branch, a legislative branch, and we never really had a banking branch, a monetary branch. And I want to explain why we are not supposed to have a central bank like the Federal Reserve, what it does, and how they sneakily got people to accept something that is constitutionally illegal and unlawful. And they know that. And if found guilty of doing so, would be charged in treason. If the people nowadays knew, if we could prove that they knew that this is illegal, but they still use, and benefit from these things, they would be charged with treason and they would be imprisoned more or less for the rest of their life or executed. Um, as far as I know, I don't know exactly how treason goes nowadays or what, but a long time ago, our founding fathers started to create our country, and they needed money for the military. They didn't want to ever be stuck in a spot, so they were going to try to do the central bank and this and this and this and this, and they couldn't really ever get it done. So we're going to start off with what gives a nation its sovereignty, what gives a nation its worth, and what keeps it sovereign. First of all, a nation is its land, its people, and its materials, and its ability to grow food, to make sure it has the ability to stay sovereign and protect itself and survive with food, water, clean air, things like that. Paper money has nothing, I want to repeat this, has nothing to do with sovereignty, but it has everything to do with losing a country's sovereignty. Um, uh, Alexander Hamilton, Thomas Jefferson, and some others had some quotes in the past on what they thought about having a Federal Reserve was. And I didn't get the whole quote down here, but it says that having a central bank would be worse than any standing army. To never have a central bank. That when short term you would be slaves in your own country that your ancestors conquered. And doing so, by keeping that Federal Reserve Bank away, we kept our sovereignty. We were no longer indebted our energy resources, our children, to any other nation or any other private rich group of people, which gave us something we call a republic. A republic is a two-way contract between government, its servants, and the people, the sovereign. Okay. And so we've got our judicial system, which has three different kinds of jurisdictions. We have our common law, which is the law of the land. Our maritime admiralty law, which is the law of water, vessels, boats, and stuff like that. Then we have our military tribunal. 99% of the courts in the United States, its district courts, are neither three of them. So That's just a little bit of information. All right. A Federal Reserve Bank, a central bank, is one private corporation. In other words, it's not owned by the public. It would be like you and a couple of your people getting together and having a private, for-profit company. And then you have that square right there represents the land of the United States, and the stick people, that's, you know, like the people within the United States. The United States exists of its land, its assets, its GDP, and etc. The people of the United States are in a battle when it comes to work, their energy, versus, sorry, I didn't write that down, versus privileges and benefits versus natural and unalienable rights which sovereigns have in their country. They don't need to benefit from something or be privileged to have something. They just do, because they are the king over their life, body, and vessel, besides if they believe in a creator. And even then, they still have the sovereign choice to make the choices they want to be obedient to that creator. Okay? We need to go through the reason I'm going through this is because I want you to understand sovereignty, the aspect of creation, and kind of the totem pole or the pyramid of what we consider to be what you want to be and what you don't want to be. Okay? God creates man in his own image. And then man comes together as kings and queens, children of God, and they create something called government. These government are servants. And these servants are privy to information, social security numbers, birthday